in Oyo State. 42 killed in Eastern Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu has charged Nigeria's newly appointed ambassadors and high commissioners to improve the country's global image, urging them to pursue foreign investments and strengthen strategic partnerships. The president gave the directive at the opening of an induction course at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Abuja, where he was represented by George Akume. He said the appointment reflects the administration's confidence in their ability to advance Nigeria's interest on the international stage, especially at a time of global transformation driven by geopolitical shifts and economic uncertainties. President Tinubu noted that technological disruptions, climate challenges, and emerging security threats continue to reshape the global system, requiring adaptive and forward-looking diplomacy. He urged the envoys to combine traditional diplomacy and digital engagement, public diplomacy, and strategic communication while projecting Nigeria's achievements under the renewed Hope Agenda. The United States mission in Nigeria has cautioned Nigerian travelers against visa overstays, warning that such actions could have broader consequences for future applicants from the country. In a statement shared via its social media handle, the mission emphasized that strict adherence to U.S. immigration regulations is essential to maintain fair and open access for legitimate travelers. It noted that visa overstays or violations of entry conditions by individuals could negatively affect how applicants from Nigeria are assessed, potentially influencing future visa decisions. The mission added that many Nigerians travel to the United States for education, business, tourism, and family engagements, urging travelers to respect visa conditions throughout their stay. It also raised concerns over visa fraud and the misuse of travel documents, calling on the public to help protect the integrity of the immigration system. The Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered an accelerated hearing in the trial of 6 suspects accused of plotting to overthrow President Bola Tinubu's administration, with Justice Joyce Abdulmalik invoking a speedy trial procedure and fixing April 29, April 30, May 4, and May 5 for proceedings. The Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, told the court that the prosecution has witnesses ready, while counsel told the first defendant said a bail application was due. However, the court ruled that trial would begin before any bail applications are considered. Lawyers to other defendants raised concerns over short notice and the complexity of the case, but the judge directed all parties to agree on date for a speedy trial, as journalists were barred from the courtroom by officials and operatives of the Department of State Services. The 6 defendants, Ibrahim Mohammed Ghana, Erasmus Victor, Ahmed Ibrahim, Zakari Umoru, Bukar Kashim Goni, and Abdul Qadir Sani, are facing a 13-count charge bordering on treason, terrorism, and money laundering, to which they all pleaded not guilty. The charges allege that the defendants conspired in 2025 to levy war against the state to overpower the president as the court had earlier fixed April 27 for bail hearing and ordered their remand in DSS custody. Meanwhile, former Bayelsa State Governor Timothy Silva was mentioned in several counts, but is not listed as a defendant and is said to be at large, while dozens of other suspects, including military personnel and civilians, have also been arrested and some arraigned before a court-martial in Abuja. The Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, has attributed the prevailing peace in the state to effective collaboration and synergy among security agencies. Governor Makinde made this known while receiving members of the Syndicate 5 of the Executive Intelligence Management Course 19, who were in the state on a study tour. Details of the event held at the conference hall of the Head of Services Office are presented by the Governor's Office correspondent, Olalekan Sulaiman.
Addressing members of Syndicate 5 of the Executive Intelligence Management Course 19, Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, represented by the Secretary to the State Government, SSG, Professor Musbau Babatude, said coordinated efforts among security agencies have been instrumental in sustaining peace and safeguarding lives and property across the state. The governor noted that the activities of the ethnic militia have reduced to nearly zero, urging the delegation to engage in field assessment with open minds to verify the claims. He added that the study tour will unravel some dividends of intellectualism and contribute meaningfully to ongoing efforts to address insecurity in the state.
No, we cannot strike when we have intelligence rivalry. So what His Excellency did was to ensure that it brought all the security agencies together, and no, it's cross-cutting. It's not just one particular area. From FRSC to custom, to immigration, to police, to civil defense, to Nigerian Air Force, to Nigerian Army. We brought all of them together. And that's actually, we have that rapid response squad that comprises of all the personnel. We have the operation boss that comprises of all the personnel and a whole lot of that. So they work together in synergy as one, and they see themselves that if there's a distress call, it's not, oh, I'm not going to wait for ABC to get it. We all have the responsibility to secure the state.
Speaking on behalf of the commandant of the Nigeria Institute of Security Studies, Mr. O.J. Odama, the director of studies, Alima Ibrahim, said the theme of this year's course, Ethnic Militia and Resource Competition in Africa, Implication for National Security, reflects the continent's evolving security landscape. He assured that the delegation will engage relevant stakeholders, visit key institutions, and assess developmental initiatives across the state to deepen their understanding of the nexus between governance, resource management, and security.
Proliferation of ethnic militia in many parts of Africa is often linked to perceived marginalization, weak governance structure, youth unemployment, and inequitable distribution of resources. These factors create fertile grounds for conflict, which ultimately threatens the national cohesion and security.
Earlier in his remarks, the Executive Assistant to Governor Seyi Makinde on Security Cooperation, Major General Lukman Omaniyi, retired, wished the delegates a fruitful and rewarding stay in Oyo State, noting that the state has consistently placed a premium on intellectual development. Olalekan Sulaiman, BCOS News.
Troops of the 82 Division and Joint Task Force Southeast have apprehended a suspected member of the Indigenous People of Biafra and Eastern Security Network and recovered improvised explosive devices during clearance operations in Imo. This is contained in an operational report made available to newsmen in Abuja. The report said the suspect, identified as Mr. Onyebuchi Dara, 28, from a Tinasa community in Orsu local government area, was arrested at a Hilma junction following actionable intelligence linked to earlier attacks on security personnel. It added that the suspect had previously benefited from an amnesty program but went underground after reportedly fearing attacks from a suspected armed group leader known as Gentle the Yahoo. The reports further revealed that operations in the area were ongoing as part of sustained efforts to degrade hostile networks and restore security in the southeast. We should now take a short commercial break. Please stay tuned.
With Nivea Dry Deo, you can keep moving forward in life with confidence. Nivea Dry Deo. Derma 72-hour active protection against sweat and odor with 0% alcohol to prevent irritation. Stay dry and fresh all day long. Skin is for moving forward, Nivea is for skin. Your favorite Nivea Deo, now in a smaller pack size.
My skin is my identity, my strength. It's unique and deserves care made specially for me. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Even Glow, enriched with 95% pure vitamin C and pulp extract. For visibly radiant and even-toned skin in just 2 weeks. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Even Glow, for your shade of beautiful.
Economic experts had advised the new Finance Minister, Taiwo Oyedele, to prioritize the effective implementation of reforms that will positively impact the average Nigerian and improve living standards. An economist, Dr. Adekunle Onile, and a finance analyst, Comrade Sanjo Akamu, made this known while speaking on the task ahead of the new minister on BCOS TV's Current Affairs Breakfast program, AM 120. Our reporter, Olamide Owolabi, reports.
The recent appointment of Taiwo Oyedele as Nigeria's finance minister, following the resignation of his predecessor, Wale Edu, has continued to generate reactions from economic stakeholders. Speaking on AM 120, an economist, Dr. Adekunle Onile, noted that the new minister would face intense public scrutiny given the circumstances surrounding the exit of the former minister. He outlined key priorities for the new minister to include tackling rising inflation, strengthening fiscal policies, and ensuring prompt payments to domestic contractors. Dr. Onile added that managing inflation and stabilizing the exchange rate were among the major challenges faced by the former minister.
The new minister, Taiwo, needs to focus more on which is where many people blame Edu. That this complaint that especially from the legislature, that they pass so many capital budgets, but less than 30% of that was implemented throughout 2025. Right? What the legislator, I may not blame him too much, because like I always said, there is no smoke without fire. If something looks unsteady, maybe something is below it that is rocking it. Now, what we heard outside is that he was not releasing the fund for the capital expenditure, despite the fact that the nation had an increase in revenue. But his own defense was that the policy of government was to focus on debt servicing so that we can get out of that doldrum. So he is more interested in channeling money to ensure that we are debt-free.
Also speaking, finance analyst Comrade Sanjo Akamu described Taiwo Oyedele as the seasoned expert in revenue generation, but noted that he is assuming office at a challenging time. He referenced concerns surrounding the alleged non-release of funds, which reportedly contributed to the resignation of the former minister. According to him, Oyedele's experience as chairman of the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee places a high expectation on his performance. He expressed optimism that the new minister would expand the tax net and drive improved revenue generation.
The Nigerian populace, they have not seen the effects in their homes. Even though when we have fiscal policy, we have reforms, it takes some time before those reforms will actually begin to yield results. So the call by the populace is that